The regular season starts next week, and we start wrapping up the preseason right now on The Hockey Show.
ما في وقت للعب 9-1 كونتينيو يجي نار من استوديو نطني ولا لاجئ شو
That's David Dork of the Hockey News. Ethan's on the other side in the executive producer's chair because Rosie, our lead producer, is still on vacation. Yeah. You need to come back quickly, girl, because
I'm not good enough for you, Roy?
No, you're not. This is The Hockey Show. Fine. My name is Roy Bellamy. We have a YouTube page, ladies and gentlemen. Please follow us there at The Hockey Show DLS. We also have TikTok at The Hockey Show 7. And on X, Instagram, and Threads at Hockey Show DLS. Now, we get into contracts discussions here because following the Kirill Kaprizov 8-year, $136 million extension at $17 million per year. And by the way, that led to this funny exchange between he and Wild general manager Bill Guerin when they announced the contract.
Big chair, big chair.
Excited?
Better be.
Yeah, well, it better be $17 million per year.
That sounds like when you take your kid to like the pizza place and they're like, I guess I'll have pepper. Yeah, you better be good enough.
Yeah. I mean,
drag your ass out to Pizza Hut. You better like it.
The richest deal in NHL history. Yeah, you better like that contract. All right. The Florida Panthers have also made a deal. They have extended Niko Mikkola's contract. He's going to be making $5 million a year for the next 8 years at $40 million. Very good team-friendly contract that Bill Zito has signed, and they're not going to be able to do that a lot further once the new CBA deal, once those rules start kicking in next season. So I would say it's a great contract and probably the last one the Panthers will be able to sign.
No, guys can still take team-friendly deals. I think the way that they structure the deals, I think that's kind of where we're going to see a little bit of flexibility. As Bill Zito, as he did again with Mikkola's contract, the base salary, which is what gets distributed throughout the season, is just like $1 million. Everything else is paid out as a bonus. Obviously, players are going to want to get a big chunk of money every July 1st as opposed to getting smidgens here and there. So a lot of the deals that he signed players to, I think they're pretty happy with it. But man, when you compare the Kaprizov deal with the Mikkola deal, and you get like one guy who's making more than anybody else, and you get another guy who's like, no, I want less money so you can make the team better. It's just like two different ideologies, and I'm sure we're going to get into it, but. Man, Bill Guerin's probably just like, how am I just supposed to build a team when,
so
such a big piece of the pie goes to one guy?
Let's talk about Minnesota. So I was listening to 32 Thoughts this morning. Their contract situation is pretty strong surrounding Kaprizov. Boldy's on a really good deal. Faber's on a really good deal. Eriksson is on a really good deal. They're all young, and they're all locked up pretty long-term and on good deals with the cap going up. They'll be able to have some flexibility around Kaprizov. And I think they already have a really good team. I'm actually really excited about the Wild this year. Like, I'm very excited to watch this team. I think they're going to be very interesting. To me, the more interesting thing is, and Roy and I kind of touched on this in our reaction video, which you can watch on our YouTube channel. You can watch, we did a quick video reacting initially to the news as it broke. David, we didn't get to hear your opinion, though. How do you think this will affect the McDavid negotiation, if at all? Because I kept going back to, well, Kaprizov is more valuable to the Wild than he would have been to any other franchise, and every situation is different. They had to keep this player. Obviously, McDavid is more about win now, try and build a team around me. Do you think this will have a big impact on the McDavid negotiation, or do you think it's just kind of something we should look at on its own?
No, I don't think it's going to have an impact because we already knew McDavid is going to get as much as he wants, whether that's max value for a contract or whether that's, leaving a little bit on the table to make the team around him better. I think whatever Connor McDavid decides he wants to do in free agency is what's going to happen. So I think Kaprizov decided, clearly, I want the highest contract I could possibly get, and that's what he got. And I'm very, very curious to learn how it plays out for McDavid because I want to know what he wants. Is he going for the big payday or is he going for the Stanley Cup? And based off what we've seen the last couple of years, I would think that he'd be happy leaving a few million on the table to pursue a championship because look how pissed off and upset he's gotten.
And he keeps going back to, we have enough for this year. We have enough for 25, 26.
He's hedging his bets.
Beyond that, I don't know. Like it's very interesting Roy, I want to ask you about something. Do you think the Minnesota Wild kind of put themselves in a bad position here with their owner coming out and saying nobody can pay Kaprizov more than we will? And then kind of he was right. I don't know that anybody would have paid Kaprizov more than the $17 million they did.
I mean, he's kind of showing his hand there. He's willing to pay for Kaprizov in that situation. So if you're Kaprizov's agent, I probably want my hand a little bit greased on that situation because it seemed like he had some leverage there, and he definitely took it as, again, he is the richest paid hockey player in the history of the
A little bit more
league.
leverage than Sam Bennett gave his agent.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of Sam Bennett, I want to get back to the Panthers here on players signed long-term on this club. They have 11 players signed through 2030. Alexander Barkov, Matthew Tkachuk, Anton Lundell, and Seth Jones are signed through 2030. Brad Marchand signed through 2031. Gustav Forsling, Sam Reinhart signed through 2032. Sam Bennett, Carter Verhaeghe, and Aaron Ekblad signed through 2033. And Niko Mikkola with his new contract signed through 2034. 11 players signed long-term. Seems like they've got half the roster locked up.
Yeah, and the cool thing about that, Roy, is they've got all those. It's not like just you mentioned any. Those are like core players that are locked up for long term. The salary cap's going to keep going up. Like, you got to remember, it's up to 95.5 this year. Next year, around 104.
Yep.
The year after that, around 113.5. So that's 2 years from now, where Zito could potentially have like another $15 to $20 million to work with.
Yeah.
In addition to having all these guys locked up, that's got to be scary for the rest of the league. Connor McDavid, come on down.
Yeah. I think
Jesus.
I think the biggest thing is the Panthers have clearly established a window, and they're not worried about what's going to happen after that window. And you kind of look at the way these things are going to age. They're going to have more and more salary cap space as these contracts age, which means these guys will start becoming the veterans, and some of the new superstars that take place that hit free agency, those could be the guys that they bring in to extend the window around the core that they've had for a long time.
I don't know because, if you look down on the farm,
Yeah.
they're not exactly building.
No, it dries up, and that's why they're going to have to go out and be aggressive in free agency. It's just interesting to think about what it's going to look like 6 years from now. But I think the biggest thing is just the stability is amazing. You look at the top four. Okay, Gustav Forsling is entering the first year of an 8-year contract. Aaron Ekblad is also entering the first year of an 8-year contract. Then you go down to the second pair. Seth Jones is entering the fourth year of an 8-year contract. And Niko Mikkola has 1 year left before starting another 8-year contract. So it's pretty amazing the stability the Panthers are going to have. I don't know that I can ever remember if there's a precedent for a team having a core that's going to be together for as long as the Panthers will be. It'll be really interesting to see. They like each other a lot now while they're winning, and I don't want to say they're going to stop liking each other, but it's going to be really interesting to see a team staying together for this long because it just doesn't ever really happen, right?
You know, I've heard of Core 4. Obviously, that's Toronto. I've never heard of a Core 11. It's I've never really seen a team that's been able to sign as many players as long-term in a long-term contract as much as the Panthers have.
I'm trying to come up with like something alliterative that goes with 11 that would fit that narrative. And to God, the evangelical 11, like I don't know, like
Magnificent 11 or something like that.
But it's got to be alliterative. It's got to start with an E.
It'll be the elderly 11 by 2030.
There you go.
If we're being honest. But it won't matter. For Panther fans, it won't matter. If they get another cup after this, or another cup or two even, who's going to give a shit what happens in 2032 if this team wins 4 cups in a decade? It's not going to matter.
Another signing that happened in the NHL this week, the Devils extended the contract of Luke Hughes, 7 years, $63 million at $7 million per year.
Good deal.
When asked about
$9 million per year, 7 years at $9 million.
$9 million, 7 years. That's a bad arithmetic. That's a bad multiplication by me because 9 times 7.
I was told
equals
there would be no
63.
math.
Yeah, well, there you go. When asked about his brother, his brother's playing with him. Quinn's playing in Vancouver. Playing
There's
with
too
his,
many Hugheses right now.
Yeah, he's already playing with Jack, who's the Devils' captain. When asked about all three of them getting together somewhere somehow, he said, "I think the three of us would love to play together someday, but whether it'll happen or not, who knows? I know Quinn loves Vancouver, and he's the captain there. We love being here. You never know, so never say never." Now, Luke Hughes is set in New Jersey, and they're defensemen, the defensive core is also set in New Jersey as well. They got Dougie Hamilton, Brett Peisey, Brendan Dillon, Jonathan Kovacevic, Jonas Siegenthaler, and Seamus Casey. So, yeah, they're pretty much set. Obviously, what happened last year was, they got hit with the injury bug and they bowed out early last season to Carolina. Now, how do you think they're looking?
I am excited about the Devils because of how excited you are about the Devils. Like, I honestly was kind of looking at them as like an afterthought almost, but you've reminded me. Injuries decimated them last year. I liked Jacob Markstrom. I thought he was great for them last year. They've got a lot of young, very high-end talent. I think, like, Timo Meier is a good guy, good veteran guy to have there. I don't know. Like, I think the Devils to be a playoff team. Like, there's no reason. Yeah, for sure. So, Niko Hischier, I don't think we talk about Niko Hischier enough, to be honest. Like, the more I watch him, the more I'm impressed by his two-way play, by the little moves he can make with his hands. Like, I think a breakout year from Niko Hischier would be in the cards in the not-too-distant future, just because that whole team is like, the more I talk about it, the more I think that team, it could be a breakout team.
Their forward depth is very top-heavy. Like, you look at the Athletics season projections for them. Their top 5 are the only players that have positive projected net ratings, and Stefan Nason is just 0.07. Everybody else, Meyer, Bratt, Hischier, and Hughes. Hughes leads the way with a 19.1. Hischier's projected rating is in the 88th percentile. Like, this is a very, very top-heavy team. Things kind of get ugly in the middle and at the back end. What I'm really intrigued by is to see they're paying Dougie Hamilton and Luke Hughes $9 million apiece now. They're kind of very similar players. Nobody really knows who's going to be on power play one, and it kind of seems like they've now made Dougie Hamilton expendable. A lot of people think that he could be moved here soon. I don't know that that's the greatest idea, because I kind of like the idea of two pairs, one with Hamilton, one with Hughes, and the other with Siegenthaler, and then you have Siegenthaler and Pesce matching up with whichever guy you like better there, because that's kind of an offensive guy and a shutdown guy that you can match together. I think that can be the best way to line up. I wouldn't move Dougie Hamilton, but to me, the more interesting discussion here is, does Luke Hughes deserve this contract? Because a guy we'll talk about next, Jackson LaCombe, got the same contract as Luke Hughes basically, but he got 1 year more, the same AAV. And if you look at the analytics, Jackson LaCombe is a much better player than Luke Hughes. So my question is, with Quinn Hughes having 2 years left on his contract, Jack Hughes having 4 years left on his contract, or 5 years, excuse me, it's pretty obvious that the only way these three are going to get together is they come to New Jersey. So here's my question for you boys. Does Luke Hughes get this contract if his last name is not Hughes?
Probably not. Not this contract.
It kind of seems like there's a bit of a tax here of we want to keep you around so that we can take a run at Quinn when he becomes a free agent in a couple years, because otherwise this seems like a bit. I know they expect him to evolve into a star, but he's had 2 44 and 47 point seasons, I believe. Like, $9 million. I know the cap's going up, but man, that's a big contract for this guy, especially when you watch LaCombe, who, like I said, is a better player, get the same deal the next day.
Yeah, I doubt that he would get that contract if he wasn't in Hughes. But you mentioned Jackson LaCombe. The Ducks also signed Mason Marchment. So they got Marchment. Huh?
McTavish.
McTavish.
Marchment's in Seattle.
Sorry about that. McTavish. I don't know why I got him.
Former Panthers on the brain.
I don't know what's going on. They signed Mason McTavish and Jackson LaCombe. McTavish, 6-year extension. LaCombe, 8-year extension. But the Ducks played hardball with both of them. I mean, Jesus. So I think the Ducks are going to look better this season. What do you think? I
think Pat Verbeek, we got to give him a little credit for being a little bit more hard-nosed GM than maybe we realized. I don't know. The Ducks, I'm curious, because we know they're young. Obviously, McTavish is awesome. Troy Terry is a quandary to me. I never know what to make of him, because I feel like he's a good goal scorer, but he's got his deficiencies in his game. Remember, they brought in Chris Kreider. They got Trouba last year. They got a new coach this year that I'm sure we're going to be paying attention to how that goes. Cutter Gauthier is fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Like, they'll be. I forgot. Also, one of our favorite guys is Anaheim to keep them on point, and that's Radko Gudas.
Yes.
So yeah,
the captain.
Frank Petrano signed a long-term deal there as well, former Panther.
Yes. Yeah, Frankie had a good year for them last year, too.
Yeah, he did.
So
he's been a nice player.
It's interesting. Anaheim, you know me, I'm excited to see both of the non-playoff Southern California teams from last year.
San Jose and Anaheim.
Yeah, both could be vastly improved on this year. But yeah, I don't know, man. What do you think about Anaheim, Roy? Do you have them as a perhaps playoff team?
Yeah, I think so. I think they might be close in contention for the wild card. So we definitely will look forward to the end of the season and see where they are.
They're the hot pick. They're a hot pick to be a dark horse for a playoffs team. Yeah, and they have a little more excitement than the Flames had last year, and the Flames obviously took a run at it, just missed out. But yeah, I'm very excited to watch Anaheim. I think they're going to be a really fun team to watch. And I can't believe you didn't bring up Lucas Dostal, Torquay, your fraternity brother.
Yeah,
your goalie fraternity brother.
Point.
He was really good last year. His underlying numbers are insane. So
yeah, it's a good point.
We appreciate everybody who watches and listens to the show. You guys can ask us questions on a vast array of social media outlets. And we have a question from @Ben from Wisconsin. With Kaprizov signing in with Minnesota, is he enough to entice bigger name free agents to come and play for the Wild? Now, we mentioned that he is making $17 million, and with the cap situation, $17 million is a pretty big. I mean, that's like what, 10%?
That's a spicy meatball.
Yeah. So will they be able to afford big name talent to come in Minnesota?
That's the question, is what else are they going to be able to do to build around Kaprizov? Like, obviously, if you have the opportunity to sign another big name or two, like, you want to try to pull the trigger on that, but it's going to have to, that check's going to come due somewhere. And if it's going to come in your bottom six or in your final D pairing, like, that can really bite you in the ass when the playoffs roll around and that depth gets tested. So it's going to be something to watch with Minnesota over the next few years for sure, to see how that Billy Guerin and those guys play it out.
Another question from @DemonHunter MOG. Which team do you see as a pure bottom feeder going for the first round pick in the draft coming up? And obviously, you know my answer to this.
Yeah, question. I know your answer to this. I don't know if you're going to like my answer to this. I think I'm looking at Chicago again as just another down year. As much as I love Connor Bedard and what he did there, and he's fun to watch, there's not much around him at all, and they didn't do much in the offseason to add to that. So good luck, Chicago.
All right. Obviously, my answer to that is the Pittsburgh Penguins. I mean, they're a terrible team. Look for the Penguins to be doing what they did. I think the league's probably going to help them out too.
I was going to say, like, you
think they're going to get that ping pong ball to bounce?
Yes, they are. There's going to be a folded corner on that envelope. Exactly what they did for Sidney Crosby. I mean, that's how it goes, isn't it? They're going to try to save that franchise yet again. It is time for Wins and Fails of the Week, sponsored by Jägermeister. Jägermeister, serve a code, don't serve it at all. Jägermeister, damn, that's code. For more, visit Jägermeister.com. Drink responsibly. David, what is your win of the week?
I'm struggling right now because I'm picturing Gavin McKenna in a Penguins jersey, and I'm like, just that right there is a little jarring to me.
He went to Penn State, so I mean.
Good point.
We are.
Yes. All right, my win of the week. We got a goalie fight, and not only did we get a goalie fight, we got maybe one of the best goalie fights I have ever seen. Adam Huska, he's a former Rangers prospect. He's wearing white there.
So good.
He plays for the Admiral Vladis.
Yeah, you buried the lead here, Dave.
So well.
We didn't just get a goalie fight. We got a KHL goalie fight.
Yeah,
you buried the lead.
This is great.
Wow.
And then you've got Andrei Misharov, who's playing for Avangard Omsk, the home team, wearing the dark. And like the footwork, the edge work, like their hands placement, like, and this fight's going on. Like we've been watching this now for like 45 seconds. That's maybe the best goalie fight of all time. 100% my win of the week. That was awesome.
Yeah, that looked like a legit street fight.
Right?
Yeah, that was it looked like boxers, like Klitschko out there.
That was, I want to watch it again. That was really good.
Yeah, so the Florida Panthers have officially unveiled a new scoreboard this week. It is rather massive, and for those who are listening on audio, David provided the specs on his write-up about it on the Hockey News. The scoreboard delivers a total LED area of 4,762 square feet. That's 180% larger than the previous scoreboard. That is a big-ass scoreboard, y'all. They got 4 screens under the scoreboard. There's a LED halo above the scoreboard as well, and the Panthers have added a second ribbon wrapping around the arena. So, yeah, they have made significant improvements on the in-arena entertainment area as far as the scoreboard is concerned. I took a video of it. during Monday's win against Carolina in the preseason game.
Not only is it a great video of the game-winning goal on the ice, but then you immediately panned to the scoreboard and got the whole scoreboard reaction to a goal, which is something that we're going to be seeing a lot of fans for the first time. So, like, awesome camera work by you here. Like, I thought this was an excellent video start to finish.
Thank you. It was an Android. And as you know, the Android cameras are better
I'm
than
not
the
talking
Apple
about the
cameras.
quality. I'm talking about
sorry,
what
I
you
apologize.
shot. I'm trying to give you credit, not your silly non-iPhone.
Hey, listen, I'm a pretty good photographer. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
it's good work.
Now, I mentioned all these improvements because the Panthers, according to Sportico, had their evaluation, the value of the franchise, go up. In fact, it's at $1.89 billion now. It's gone up 51% from last year. That's $1.89 billion with a B, ladies and gentlemen. Now, they've gone up 9 spots from last year, so they're 17th now. They're in the middle of the league. Since the President's Trophy winning year, that's 2021-22, the ticket sales have gone up 86%. Sponsorships gone up 155%. Revenue from events other than hockey at Emirates Bank Arena has gone up 45%. Team revenue is at $290 million. And 90% of the season ticket holders have renewed. Their value has gone up since the President's Trophy winning year. 218%. That is the highest increase of any team in the NHL since that time. So all is well in Sunrise. Ethan, you have a win.
Yeah, my win of the week, guys. I don't know if you were watching this live. The baseball game that was going on at Wrigley Field. I think it was game 1.
I saw it, yes.
And they did the promo for the NHL, and there was the whole thing with this guy.
Chris
Ben
Chelios
McDonald,
was there.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. And he made a whole big deal about, oh, I'm so cool. I'm not going to watch hockey. I got to watch playoff baseball. Blah, blah, blah.
Oh,
blah.
Ben McDonald?
Why can't you do both?
Oh,
yeah. So
man.
anyway, that's not my win of the week, obviously. My win of the week goes to our good friend, John Butchergross, who took to Twitter and dunked on this dork and said 0 is also how many postseason innings Ben McDonald pitched in his MLB career. Score 1 for the hockey guys, Roy. I love it. I love baseball too, but why? Why take a shot at hockey? It's unnecessary. First of all, it looks bad for ESPN. It looks terrible.
It is terrible.
I'm sure their execs were happy about that promo. And it's just an unnecessary shot at hockey. I thought it was lame.
You do realize that you just called a man who's 6'8" a dork.
Yeah.
No, he shouldn't have talked shit about hockey. That's his bad, not Ethan's.
I
Whole
understand.
foot.
Look, I will
2
get on
inches taller
Ethan's
than him.
shoulders, and we will take this down.
Yeah, we'll take this guy down. We might not even be taller than him still, but we'll take him
Little
down.
Jewish guys, we got
Yeah, let's go, Twerky.
Yeah, that's great. All right.
Shut up, you
Shanatova.
6-foot person.
Oh, by the way, I hope your fast was easy yesterday and the day before.
Thank you.
All right, and
partake.
Yes, absolutely. You too as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Fails of the week. That goes to you, Dave.
Nightmare fuel. My win of the week was like goalie beautician. I loved it. This is goalie nightmare fuel. My fail of the week. The Nacka Rockers, who play in Division 2, which is the 4th tier of ice hockey in Sweden. So these are my people. Last week, their goaltender, Adam Lindholm, received a stare that might cause some people to leave the sport completely. He took a slap shot to the mask that got wedged in his
terrible.
mask.
That's not good. That's
He's
not good
lucky
at
he
all.
didn't lose an like that thing is like so close to going through. If you guys are listening on audio, check this out on YouTube or look up the video online. It's scary. It's happened before. I remember when it happened to like Brian Boucher. I think it was in a playoff game years back. But it happens rarely. I've always made sure that I've got either double barred or just a little tighter cat eyes. Not that I'm playing with anybody that could do anything like that, but good God, is that scary. So like I said, nightmare fuel, no thank you, 100% fail.
The Ottawa Senators should know better than to mess with the Jack Eyes now. And obviously, they're new to Florian Jack Eye, but Arbor, I mean, you need to do a better job than that. This week, the Canadiens played the Ottawa Senators and felt the wrath of Arbor and Florian Jack Eye. And Arbor embarrassed Zach McEwen. I mean, just completely embarrassed him. Look at it.
Oh, we got dragged.
Jeez. And Florian...
He's
absolutely.
like pissed.
Yeah, of course he's
He's
pissed.
like, put up a better fight.
Yeah, and Florian ended up ragdolling Carter Yakimchuk, sorry, mispronounced his name. Yeah, he absolutely ragdolled him, and it's just these two guys are going to be a problem for this league. So my fail of the week going to the Ottawa Senators. for not knowing your opponent.
Dude, that makes me think if the Canadians get in the playoffs again this year, that could be trouble.
Yeah.
Like that series against Washington last year was
That
like
was
pretty
chippy.
fun.
That got chippy.
So look out for Montreal.
Yeah, that's going to be
More
really
ways
fun to
than one.
watch. Ethan.
All right, my fail of the week, comes from a preseason game between the Devils, who we talked about earlier, and the Washington Capitals. Check out this breakaway by, I believe it's Chester Bratt and Luke and Jack Hughes. 3, 4, 5, 6 passes,
What
5
a
passes,
save!
and then Charlie Lindgren with the save. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a save by Charlie Lindgren.
That's,
Somebody's got to shoot the
get
puck
the
and
puck
bury
off
it
the ice.
before
You got
that.
to go
man.
high. You got to go high.
That's ridiculous.
Why are you going low there?
Too many passes. If this is what it's going to look like in the regular season for the Devils, I don't know about how we're feeling about their chances to
No.
contend anything real. I know it won't.
If the
They'll
Capitals
clean this
are
up,
giving
but
up 2-0s, I'm a little worried about
yeah,
their
I don't like
chances,
this
too.
either. But man, they were just toying with Lindgren and they still couldn't get it past him. You got to score on that one.
You
man.
got to score on
Gotta
that
score.
one. And he's a left-handed
Terrible.
goalie, so he's not even windmilling the glove on that side. He's got a stick on that side.
And he
So
shot it right into his pad. He
I
didn't
know.
even
Right
make it
into
tough
his
for
pad.
him.
This is what I'm saying. Go high.
Credit to the goaltender for being in the right position when he just had to go back and forth like 5 times in the span of a second. But yeah, get the puck off the ice.
I want to point something out. The Utah Mammoth have reconfigured the Delta Center. At least the ownership group has. So
Yes.
there's
Yeah, they've
a-
been posting videos all summer.
Yeah, and so the Utah Jazz and the Utah Mammoth going to have some new sight lines. In fact, the area which was obstructing, like there's an obstruction near one of the nets.
Yeah.
They've reconfigured seats there, and as you can see, it is steep. I mean, if you trip and fall, you are dead. If you are drunk, most likely you're going to trip and fall, and you're going to die. That's how high those seats are. I mean, it's like a mountain. Like
Well, don't they
it's
have a
going
lot of
straight up.
mountains, right? Like that's what they have in Utah. So maybe
they have a lot of
the
mountains.
people of Salt Lake City are like used to steep inclines and climbing mountains and stuff. So maybe that's just like the home field advantage. The away fans, they're the ones that have to worry, but the home fans, they'll be fine.
And that's ridiculous, man. But they got more seats in there now, so good on them.
It's a little scary.
Gonna throw up sitting in those seats, dude. Like my puke is
vertigo.
gonna play, forward too.
You're gonna get vertigo in
Yeah,
those seats, man.
seriously.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, Mammoth could have an interesting season.
I'm
Yeah.
intrigued by the Mammoth
Don't
for
sleep
sure.
on the
There's a lot of
Ducks.
teams out west I'm intrigued by. Mammoth, Ducks. I don't think the Sharks are gonna come anywhere near the playoffs, but I'm excited to watch them at least.
When the Sharks make the playoffs, I'm going to be celebrating like I'm from San Jose.
By the way, just to touch on one thing, clean one thing up on the Wild. They're going to have $23 million in cap space next year, and they really only have one UFA that you would be like, that's a hole you need to fill that you can't fill in free agency. Maybe like
RFAs.
Zach
Tarasenko,
Bogosian is going to be,
yeah.
and then Tarasenko, they have 2 forwards that they would need to fill. So they're going to have plenty of money to work with to build around Tarasenko, or excuse me, I got
Yes.
confused. To build
Build
around
around Vladdy.
Kaprizov. I think they're going to be able to do a really good job building that team.
For those of you who are watching on DraftKings Network, coming up next, we have Adnan Virk from Prime Monday Night Hockey. We are going to get into the storylines going into the regular season with him. Adnan Virk is coming up next.
Boom! Right on the zero.